Welcome to The Explainer. We're jumping right into a high-stakes standoff that could seriously impact what you pay at the pump. We're talking about the Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway where the US and Iran are pretty much on a collision course.
Okay, so let's get right into it. The world is kind of holding its breath after Donald Trump issued this very stern warning to Iran. And look, this isn't just talk. It's a direct threat that's setting the stage for a major confrontation. And you can bet everyone is watching to see who blinks first.
So, what did this warning actually say? What makes this threat so serious? Let's break down the ultimatum that's got the entire region on such high alert.
Well, the message from the US was, crystal clear. They said, reopen the straits. And the or else? Well, that was this very ominous phrase, severe consequences. And make no mistake, this wasn't just some diplomatic bluff. This hints at the very real possibility of military action, maybe even strikes on key Iranian infrastructure. Yeah, the line was definitely drawn.
So that really begs the question, right? Why? Why is this one little strip of water the center of a potential global crisis? I mean, how can a conflict way over there affect all of us, no matter where we live?
Right, so the Strait of Hormuz, it's not just some random spot on a map. It is the definition of a strategic choke point. The best way to think about it is like a massive bottleneck. All that oil and gas from the Persian Gulf, it has to squeeze through this one tiny passage to get to the rest of us. So yeah, if you control the strait, you've basically got your hand on the world's energy tap.
And this right here is the heart of the whole problem. We're talking about a massive chunk of the entire world's daily oil supply. We're talking millions upon millions of barrels, all funneling through this one single spot. So you can see why any disruption here, well, it's not just a local problem. It becomes a global economic emergency, like overnight.
And that's the key takeaway here, right? A fight in the strait doesn't just stay in the strait. Nope. It sends these shockwaves all around the world. And for most of us, the first place we feel that shakeup is right at the gas station.
You gotta understand, this isn't just one thing happening. It's more like a domino effect, and a really dangerous one at that. First, you get the tension flaring up. That immediately puts the world's oil supply at risk. Just the threat of that is enough to send prices through the roof for everybody. And then, when that economic pressure cooker starts to boil over, well, the chances of someone making a mistake and kicking off a much bigger conflict, they just skyrocket.
But listen, this isn't a one-way street. That pressure cooker we were talking about, there are two sides pushing on it. Iran didn't just sit back and take the American ultimatum. Oh no, they came back with some pretty sharp warnings of their own.
And this really lays out the whole standoff perfectly, doesn't it? You've got the US over here making demands, throwing out threats. And then on the other side, you have Iran standing firm, shooting back its own warnings and basically saying, you make a move and we'll retaliate. It's turned into this incredibly high-stakes game of chicken, where each side is just waiting for the other one to flinch.
So, where does all this leave us? Well, in a really, really tense spot. The war of words is heating up, and pretty much the entire planet is watching, just wondering what's going to happen next.
The one word you keep hearing to describe this whole thing is volatile. And honestly, it's the perfect word. We are literally looking at a powder keg. Any little thing, a misstep, a misunderstanding, someone trying to provoke the other side, could be the spark that makes the whole thing just explode.
Okay, so what's the situation on the ground right now? Well, behind closed doors, people are still talking. Diplomatic efforts are supposedly ongoing. But out in the open, the main feeling is just uncertainty. There's still a chance for diplomacy to work this out, for sure, but that window feels like it's closing and closing fast.
And really, that's the huge question we're all left with, isn't it? In this massive showdown between global and regional powers, this tug of war between threats and diplomacy, which one is going to prevail? Because the stability of an entire region, not to mention global oil prices, is just hanging in the balance.